Reekz boxing. Oh, my voice. God, yeah. Woo. So this is my immediate reaction to Manny Pacquiao's victory over Adrien Broner. Where do we start? Well, before the fight, they had obviously everyone gives their check weight, and Broner didn't want to give his check weight from the weigh-in. Maybe he put on a lot of weight because the way he was moving didn't quite look like he was light on his feet. So probably came in the ring about 155, close to 160, like, because he was very sluggish. Yeah, it was a good tactical fight. Disappointed in Broner myself, but this is what you expect from Broner. Like, he didn't show us anything that we didn't expect him to show us. You know, he doesn't throw many punches, always starts off fight slow. But yeah, obviously Pacquiao came out. We knew what he was gonna do. I was actually I liked the Eye of the Tiger that he came out to. I was proper pumped. I was half asleep. I was thinking, oh man, come out, Eye of the Tiger. Yeah, so came out to that. He had these knee-high socks on, which I haven't seen before. It looked quite odd, unless I just don't remember him wearing them. Maybe he has, but I don't know, it kind of gripped my attention. I thought, okay, maybe that's just a tiredness. Anyway, I'm talking rubbish. So, yeah, he just come out, just pressed the fight. Broner was looking for single counters. As I said in my prediction, that for me, Pacquiao was always going to beat him because Broner doesn't counter well enough to keep him away from him, and he doesn't counter often enough. And yeah, every time Manny Pacquiao pressed him, he was just moving back. And what frustrated me was Southpaw Orthodox. Broner's like this the whole time. And when he's moving back like this. He's not in a position to counter because he's tucked up and he's leaving the left side of his face open the whole time. So Manny's rushing in and he's getting caught with, like, he might not be getting caught with the left hand because his glove's up, but your chin's open, he's getting hit constantly. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? Like, I understand keeping the left hand low to surprise him with a jab when he's not looking, surprise him, but he wasn't even jabbing. You have it low and they bring it up slowly to pour in his face. Like, keep him at distance. It was like, I didn't quite understand. He did throw in, obviously talking about Broner, because it's a lot easier to talk about him. He did throw in a few good counter left hooks from about the 4th round. He was looking for that straight right, but the problem was that he was right just outside fight distance and he was throwing these counters. So he wasn't, if they were to land, they would land on like just the end of his glove. He's not getting no purchase on it where he's hitting through the target. He wasn't initiating anything. You could see that he was, as I said, he was feeding off everything Manny was giving him. He wasn't fainting, he wasn't twitching to force a reaction from Manny so he can counter. Because obviously there's two types of counter. You either counter what they're doing, or you set up the counter by making them attack you to then counter them. So it's almost like you could do like a hard feint where you step in, let him think you're coming, throw his counter, you step back, boom. But I don't know, the game plan was odd and the corner didn't seem to have any urgency. At the end of rounds, he was looking up, shrugging his shoulders like, yeah, I'm doing my thing, but I don't know, it was a weird one. It was like he was trying not to get knocked out. It was one of those ones, and hopefully just walk him on to a big shot, which was Manny's too smart for that. He's too experienced to walk onto a shot like that. And especially the shot that he did walk onto, they had no purchase behind them. It wasn't like a Marquez where he's stepping in and he slipped his head off the centre line and caught him. Wow, that hurt, boy. Maybe I'm just tired. yeah, it's not like he was slipping off something. Like Broner, his head was here the whole time. The whole time his head was here. Like he wasn't giving anything, and it was just frustrating. It was frustrating because in that 4th round he showed that he can step it up when he wants to, but he just didn't step it up. But yeah, I think it was 7th round. Obviously Manny was backing him up, doing what he was doing. Broner was tying him up whenever he got close. Manny was really good with the jab. I expected more right hooks from Manny, but because Broner wasn't giving him any jabs, he couldn't really throw the right hook because obviously the right hook's a shorter shot, so he'd have to step in closer, and Broner was always looking for that straight right or left hook, so he had to just keep working with his jab and just tallying up the points round by round. Yeah, so in that 7th round, he's caught him good where he's thrown a jab in, and then it's almost like he's thrown it to the head, but what he's done is he's watched his patterns. So as Broner keeps ducking down on his left hand, instead of throwing it straight down the pipe, he's throwing it to where his head's going to be. So as he's gone down, it's hit him clean, rocked him. Like, Broner done well to survive the round. We all know he's got a great chin. And then the round after, he came out and you thought, okay, Broner's woken up, he's holding his feet. And then he just fell back into Broner again. I don't really understand. It's, he does it a lot in fights. It must be a mental thing with him where he gets into these big fights and maybe he just doesn't believe in himself early enough where he's prepared to sit back, counter, do what he's doing. Maybe they need to get in different sparring partners, because all the sparring that he always releases on YouTube and stuff is him just smashing someone to pieces. Like, bang, 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 and then moving around, looking all fancy. No, in a fight, that's not happening. You're not letting your hands go. Like, he did not let his hands go. Obviously, Manny's speed and movement would have played a part in that. It's not like he just decided not to. Manny made him not throw shots. But I expected him to take more risks. Yeah, and Manny just cruised to a victory. Manny was still looking for a knockout towards the end of the fight. It didn't come. Nice victory for him. The craziest thing was at the end of the fight, Broner ran to the corner. I know sometimes you got to act like you've won, you know, because the judges might think, oh, maybe I scored that wrong. Maybe. But nah, he jumped out the corner. He was like hitting his chest. I was thinking, bruh, like, what are you doing, bruh? Like, get down. You need to start thinking about your next fight now. You're like working on what went wrong in this training camp because your mind was elsewhere. And then, obviously, Manny's just, he knows he's won. It's one of those ones he's just like, where's my money? Where's my belt? Come on, hurry up and do this, man. Let me go. I need to go home. Like, my wife's here. Like, I need to get out of here. And then when the camera was in the corner, obviously before Manny's come over, you hear Broner say, I know I won that. And you're just thinking, like, I was confused. I had to sit up. I had to get my water. I was like, rub my eyes. I was like, I had to go and clean my ears. I was thinking, like, what am I listening to? Like, and yeah, boy, he thought he won. Decision was made. Obviously, Manny done his interview, called out Mayweather. Mayweather didn't give any response. He was just sitting there. He didn't even look at the camera. I think just before they asked him, camera came to him, gave the usual boxer's pose, as we do. And yeah, Mayweather just kept his head straight, didn't react. And then they interviewed Broner. Obviously, over here in England, they cut it because the watershed. It's after 6 AM. Kids would be up. But yeah, I watched it back, and the guy really thought he won. He's like, I landed the cleaner punches, and it's like, bro, for every counter you landed, he landed 6, 7 shots because you would back up, as I said, and you would be taking 3, 4 jabs to your face, let alone the power punches to the body that you was taking. You took like, what, 3 body shots around. Like, sorry, something in my mouth. Yeah, so, yeah, where does Broner go from here? Like, every elite fight he's had, he's lost. Because he does the same thing. He just doesn't let his hands go. Such a good amateur as well. I'm sure he won like 300 amateur fights. Like, you'd think from amateur boxing, you'd have that energy, that in, out, in, out, in, out, high work rate. I ain't seen his amateur fights. Maybe he fought how he fights now. Maybe he used to sit down and just take people out. I don't know, but it's not working for him. I watched the one undercard fight, the Marcus Browne, Badu Jack. Yeah, Marcus Browne done well. Like, first big step up in class, and he controlled it. Like, Jack was, he was almost like, he wasn't really working his way in. He wasn't really jabbing. It was a case of, as they say, he was staying in fight distance, but he wasn't really doing much. And then it seemed like he just started to get frustrated. I think it was around round 3, where he's up tight, and then he just rushed him. He was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're way more experienced than you expected that from the other guy. But obviously Browne was keeping him, like, honest, keeping him sharp, like, so was being very sharp. Throwing him big left hands, which is obviously making him stay honest and true. And yeah, I was really impressed with Browne. He boxed well, he jabbed well. I was surprised that the referee, Tony Weeks, took away a point for holding, because the only times he held Jack was when Jack rushed him against the ropes. What you meant to, he's rushed you, you gotta grab him. What are you gonna do? Just stand there and be like, all right, his head's in my head. Am I just gonna come on? Like, so I don't know, innit? Like, the referee was trying to give him, maybe the ref thought it would help him. And then after he got the point deducted, Jack went back to the corner, and his corner was like, yeah, that's it. Don't worry, man. He's gonna get disqualified. He's gonna get disqualified. I'm like, bro, I'm like, is that your game plan? Like, why don't you tell him something constructive? Like, jab, or, you know, step to the side, circle around to the right, even circle inside. Tell him something, but don't tell him he'll get disqualified. And I think in that same round, I think it was that round, was it the round before? He suffered a nasty cut where he's thrown a jab, and they both come in to throw their power hands, and obviously where he's hit Browne, like Browne's come in, he can't see where he's going. Big head clash, like the cut on his forehead was massive. It reminded me of the cut that Groves got when he fought James DeGale. Obviously this was a lot worse, and he opened it up again a couple of rounds later with an uppercut, and his face was a mess, absolute mess. But you know, he stuck it in there, showed heart, wasn't gonna quit. But that was one of the worst performances I've seen from Badu Jack personally. He just didn't seem like he had a plan, really. I don't know. He was going to take him into deep waters, but obviously the headbutt changed things. But up until that point, he wasn't really showing much before the headbutt. But I don't know. But yeah, great win for Manny Pacquiao. He's the WBA regular champion. Because obviously Keith Thurman's a super champion, the actual champion. He's fighting next week. Can't wait for that. He's back. One time. Marcus Browne. Like, he's now interim champion. It's like he's knocking on the doors, and there's a few good light heavyweight champions in that division. So let's see who they pair him up with next. Hopefully his next fight will be a title fight. Obviously there's unification in that division, rematch to be done as well. So may have to wait until later on in the year, like maybe like November times, to get actual title shot. But yeah, that's my take on it. If you guys got any comments about how you think the fight went, if you think I was wrong in my assessment, and where you think Broner could have improved, what you think Manny Pacquiao did well, just leave comments below and I'll respond to your comments. And yeah. Thanks for watching the video, Reekz Boxing. If you enjoyed the video, just give it a little like down there, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Just subscribe. Let me know in the comment section what you'd like to see us talk about, what sort of videos you may like to see. We get it cracking.